Welcome to Baby's Birthday. Each show joins a mum-to-be and counts down to the birth of their baby, revealing all the drama, laughter and tears involved in giving birth. Because let's be honest, giving birth is never a walk in the park. To help chart each birth, this is the Baby's Birthday Clock. It's there to count down to each mum's due date. And once labour kicks off, the clock kicks in and times the birth so you know exactly how long each mum's been in labour, whether it's 2 hours or a whopping 20 hours. All the action of the birth is boiled down into a half-hour show. So, we'd better crack on.
Getting the sweat on.
Today we meet Kristy, who is having a home birth. And when she goes into labour, she raises the roof.
Even though I'd remembered it really badly, I thought, oh my God, it's even worse.
Kristy and her Italian husband Antonio met when they were working together in a restaurant, and love blossomed over the spaghetti. They got married in 2003, and the couple also have a 2-year-old son called Alex. And just in case you hadn't noticed, that bump is baby number 2.
We're having a baby girl, hopefully. That's what we've been told, so I really hope so. Not decided on a name yet. We're having a few issues with that at the moment, so I think we're just going to see what she looks like when she's born.
With Alessandro, we already knew it. Probably, I don't know, because it was our first one, and we knew. Now we just don't know. You know, probably it's too many names, and we can't decide.
Kristy is having a baby at home. Although home births are discouraged because of the possible risks and complications, Kirsty's not fazed and is sure she's made the right decision.
I'm looking forward to seeing if it's easier with your second birth and if having her at home makes any difference. And obviously just looking forward to her being born and being here.
Just can't wait, and gonna be, daddy's girl.
Kristy was due to give birth 2 days ago, but the baby doesn't seem to want to make an appearance, whereas everyone else would like her to get a move on, especially Mum.
Obviously people just interested to know about the baby, but it gets frustrating when every time you look at your mobile phone you've got, 15 texts. Have you had the baby yet? I think it's worse because things started to happen pain-wise a few weeks ago, and we thought that she'd be either on time or early, but she's not. So she's obviously going to be another awkward one. Just one?
Just 2.
No, just one. Once you go past your due date, you do start getting fed up because you think, 9 months is long enough and they should be here by now. How many times have we read this? Come on then. I'm nervous this time more than last time, I think, because when it's your first, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. And now it's a case of, I know what's coming.
1 day later and 3 days overdue, the baby is coming, and it's all happening at Kirsty's house. 1 in 5 women who plan a home birth have to go to hospital to have their baby due to complications. So Kirsty's dream birth still may not happen at home, but so far, so good. Midwives Sue and Chris have arrived to deliver Kirsty's baby at home.
I've decided on a home birth mainly because of Alessandro. I didn't want to go into hospital and leave him, and for him to associate the baby as taking me away from him. That was the main reason, but also I just think that I'd be more relaxed. It'd be nice when it's over to get in my own bed and wake up in my own house, and for people to come and visit me at different periods rather than everybody coming at 2 o'clock when it's visiting and feeling really overwhelmed by it all. So
a home birth means the only pain relief available to Kristy is gas and air. But to be fair, she's making the most of it. While hubby Antonio looks after son Alex, Kirsty's best mate Julie is acting as birthing partner because she's been through it all herself.
Antonio was good the first time with Alex, but I think it was more distressing for him. So if he wasn't there, I don't have to worry about how he was coping with seeing, me in pain. It wasn't so much that I was asking her to do things like rub my back or anything. It was just to know that she was there, and because we were at home, things like making drinks for the midwives and just making me feel like secure. I'm feeling pretty horrible. No, I'm not. It really hurts, but it's not as bad as it could be. The midwives came at 2:30. I think, what time is it? About 7:30.
I think this cat's the reincarnation of a midwife. Were you a midwife?
Kirsty's really going at that gas and air, and who can blame her?
I'm gonna have another check in about half an hour to an hour and see if we're dilating anymore. I think there's talk of breaking waters and things, I'm not sure.
What's the tea? They always used to say boil lots of
boiled
boiling
water. And it's not for anything other than tea.
for the midwives, yeah.
Kirsty's labour pains are getting really intense, and the gas and air is coming in very handy. Although Kirsty's getting through the stuff, and the midwives have had to pop out for extra supplies.
The midwife's just going to get some more gas in there because this is the last tank, so hoping that we're not going to run out. That's like forefront of my mind at the minute. I always kept saying, oh God, it's awful, and I can remember this, but as soon as the contraction started, I thought, oh my God, it's worse than I remember. It's worse, even though I'd remembered it really badly. I thought, oh my God, it's even worse.
5 hours, 45 minutes and counting.
What are you focusing on when you have a contraction?
Nothing really. That sounds really rubbish, but just nothing. Just getting through it, I think.
Yeah, you're doing really good. I think they're between 2 and 3 minutes, aren't they?
Sometimes one comes immediately after, and then, like, just then, before then, there was a gap because of the way it was laid. But they're like, I'll have one and then just a short break, and then another one. Sometimes not even 2 minutes, I'm not sure. You lose sense of time though, don't you?
They just take your blood pressure, Kirsty.
I'm alright, still rocking on.
Yeah, which stage you are. Exactly.
The examinations that the midwife carried out, they didn't faze me because I knew that the midwives were professional. If there was any cause for concern, they wouldn't have let me continue at home.
During a home birth, midwives have to do regular checks. If there are any problems, such as high blood pressure, Kirsty will have to be rushed to hospital so they can offer advanced care to ensure she and her baby are safe.
It's a little bit elevated when we first came. I think you were anxious.
I was a bit, yeah.
I think you thought I was going to say you're not in labour.
I say, because normally my blood pressure's quite low.
Yeah, it's fine. I think it was just at the beginning, and you were worried about your little boy and what was going to happen. And
Yeah.
The gas and air might be helping Kirsty, but it doesn't half make a racket. Kirsty's been in labour all night, and hubby Antonio and son Alex are now up waiting for news. The baby doesn't seem far off, but Kirsty's waters still haven't broken. Over to you, Sue.
there's a point where you think the membranes may rupture spontaneously, and that's what we're aiming for, because that's the natural and we're keeping everything normal. And while the membranes are intact, she's coping very well. But there comes a point where the baby's probably imminent to be born, and it may be just the membranes that just need rupturing at that point. So if I think that, then we'll go ahead with it.
Getting the sweat on.
The midwives thought when my waters were to be broken that it would be better for the camera to leave the room, just as it's quite an invasive procedure and it can also be quite painful.
And once Kirsty's waters are broken, we're off. Although Kirsty seems to think there's a problem with the gas and air.
Gas and air! You got it!
Oh, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath.
After the break, after 6.5 hours of labour, the hard work really begins.
What's the matter?
Gas and air!
We're back with Kirsty, who's having her baby at home. She's been in labour for 6.5 hours. Her husband and son are waiting in the kitchen for news, and the baby's not far off. To relieve the pain, Kirsty's going at the gas and air like there's no tomorrow.
Gas in air! You got it!
Deep breaths, deep breaths, deep breaths.
After sucking on gas and air, you start feeling like you're a bit drunk,
Do it now!
but it doesn't half help with the pain.
No!
What's the matter?
Gas in air!
You took it out of your mouth, Kirsty. Kirsty.
It is half a time there, sweetheart.
Sorry.
It's all right. Do you want to take it on the hand?
Listen now, as the baby's ready, just before the baby's ready to be born, you're going to feel very strange. Just keep focusing now on this breathing and just try and tune into my voice. As well as Julie's, because Julie's doing a good job there. But try and listen to what I'm saying. You come on stronger now with the membrane instruction. You like me stronger now, Kirsty? Yeah.
They come stronger and more frequently now.
Are we having baby on your tummy? Alright. Just leave me alone now, Sue.
When I was using the gas and air, it made me feel very spaced out, and I was sort of aware of other people but not really conscious of what was going on. I was in a self-contained little bubble, really.
Do you feel like you want to push with any of them yet?
The only problem with gas and air is that Kirsty may get too spaced out when she needs to push. If she pushes at the wrong time, she may do herself some damage. So the time has come to cut back a bit on the canisters.
I'm ready. I'm really ready. I'm ready.
Okay, when your body tells you to push, it's important that you go with it.
I'm doing it. It's okay.
Does it feel like you need to push?
Oh,
Oh, good. Excellent.
Well, when you get an urge to push now, when you feel like you do,
Yeah.
keep it a nice, long, steady one. Keep
Yeah.
it like the track.
Try and do it for
almost.
10. Yeah.
And then a nice breath in, and then it'll come again, and then you'll hear me voice in little pushes. Okay, so I'm nice,
Okay.
gentle delivery.
Are we nearly there?
I would say so now, yeah.
Okay, we'll put her straight on your tummy so you can get the skin-to-skin contact, yeah?
This reminds me of how women had babies years ago in front of the fire. Okay, you wanted to push. Go on, if you do, Kirsty.
Have you got to name this baby?
Isabella.
Isabella. That's nice.
You're looking at names and there's so much choice. By the time it was a week before we'd had her, we'd still not decided. And then about 3 days before, I said I still really, really like Isabella, and Antonio did as well. So we told Alex that the baby was called Isabella, but we were going to keep it a surprise until, you know, for everybody else, until she was born. There's no real significance to the name apart from the fact we both like it. It's also an Italian name. You know, we couldn't have Alessandro and Sarah. It just doesn't sound right.
And everyone's getting ready for those last few pushes. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better.
This leg's a bit precarious here, isn't it? It's all right, I'll come round it, it's all right.
Just put that there, put baby on your tummy.
Try and bend your legs up and out. It just expands your pelvis. There's a bit more room for this baby's head to hit that pelvic floor and come round. And you're absolutely perfect now.
When they broke my waters, it makes the contractions more intense because your waters are cushioning the baby's head against the cervix. So when there's no water there, it's impact. I had this one feeling, and I think the midwife had said she'd come down a bend or something, I don't know, that really, really hurt. And I think that's the only time I actually did make quite a big noise.
Kirsty,
Put your lips
listen now.
together.
Lips together.
And pushing your
Come on.
bum to your bum.
If
Right
you've
to your
got-
bum.
If you've got
Baby Isabella's finally here after 6 hours, 54 minutes and 2 seconds of labour.
Get Antonio. When she was placed on my stomach, obviously, that's the feeling when you just feel that intense love straight away. There's just no doubt about it. I was always saying, oh, I don't know if I could ever love anybody as much as I love Alex, and does your love divide between them? And I think it might have been Julie that said, no, your love just doubles for both, you know, you've got abundance of it. Is it a girl? Yeah. Oh, baby girl.
She's got chunky thighs.
Is she?
Yeah. Thighs like the midwife.
Oh, beautiful.
Tied up.
She's just like Alex. Yeah. She looks exactly like Alex.
Oh, you're all caught up.
Oh. Hello, is it?
Done, baby.
Okay, baby girl. Alex, it's your baby sister. She's here now.
Oh, and you're a little individual person now. You're separated from mummy.
Come on, my girl. Let's just get you out of this wet.
We've got this nice dry towel for
Are you
you.
going to put her next to you?
No, it's just I need to do with another pillow. Has she been cut now?
Yeah.
Come on, move your elbow
Just
up and
put
try.
that there to keep her warm. Do you want to lift? Are you going to breastfeed her?
Yeah.
Right. Do you want to lift your nightie up then?
I tried to breastfeed her, but I was sort of laying in a really awkward position, and she wasn't ready at that point, so I just left it. But I'd heard that if you put them to the breast within the first hour, it's easier because Alex struggled latching on. It took me a couple of days, but within the hour she was having a feed and she was fine anyway. You are a gorgeous little girl. You are so sweet. You have given me a nightmare time. Oh. When Isabella was born, it was obviously just complete elation that she was okay, that she was finally here. It was so lovely that my husband and my son came in and Alex got to see her immediately, even though he was a bit unsure because she was quite purpley when she was born. She was a bit, tired, and I think until she was dressed and a bit cleaner, he didn't really feel like he wanted to, handle her or anything. But it was just so nice just to be there with my son and with my husband and just my best friend. And, it was, everybody will say the same thing. It's like the best feeling in the world, and it is.
Ooh, I can't see it.
She's only peeped at us. She hasn't opened her eyes fully yet. They will be blue. Yes, they're all blue. Shall we see? Does she look like you, Alex? That's a good boy. There's your girl.
You give me cuddle. Right.
That was very good.
That's your baby. That's
yeah?
your baby
That's the baby
sis.
sister.
It's because it's crying.
Yeah.
You had that when you were born. You had white.
I don't like that one.
Yes, well, it'll come off. In 2 days, this will be all gone.
It was really nice to hold the baby for the first time because it's just the culmination of everything that you've been through the past 9 months. Especially, I'd had a difficult pregnancy and I was tired, and at times I'd sit and cry and think, is it all worth it? And I've had enough. And then when she's there and you can see her and you actually do think, it has been a horrible 9 months, but it's finished now. And look, I've got a really beautiful little girl, and Alex was made up with her, and Antonio was really happy, and it was just like completes the family now. That's all I can say, really. It's just complete.